it's Steph with Magnolia Stripes, and I am so excited about today's Magnolia in the Kitchen. I have my fellow Carolina girl and friend, Allie, here today. Hey, Allie.
Hey, thanks, Steph, for having me. I'm super excited to showcase this recipe that's near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, so tell us what you're making.
So we're going to be making Carolina crab cakes, and that pairs perfectly with some collared slaw.
Ah, love it. It sounds so good. Okay, so how can I help you?
So let's go ahead and get started with the crab cake. Why don't we go ahead and start by chopping up the green onion, and I'll go ahead and start talking through the rest of the ingredients.
Perfect.
So you're going to dump everything into the bowl except for the crab meat and go ahead and get it blended. We'll start with the egg. You're going to want to whisk it just a little bit, just so it's not a problem when you get it into the bowl. Now that that's blended, you will then go to your garlic powder. You then have some panko breadcrumbs.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? And then some green peppers. You can substitute this for red if you prefer.
Great pop of color.
Yeah,
I
no,
love that.
it's absolutely perfect. And so it looks like you're good
yeah.
to go.
Okay, here are your onions.
Thank you so much.
Of course, you're welcome.
And then a few other ingredients that are near and dear to Steph and I's heart.
Yes.
We have some Duke's mayonnaise.
In every Southern girl's pantry.
Yeah, and so I'm going to add all this. We're going to be doing about 1/4 of a cup. And then
Thank you.
we have some Old Bay. Unless you're from Louisiana,
Yeah.
this is going to be your blend of spices when you cook seafood.
Or anything else. It's so good on chicken. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
everything.
great on chicken. And then Texas Pete, which is made in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
What town is it?
I think it's Winston-Salem.
Yeah, so this is like a staple in my household, but you do something a little bit
Yeah,
different,
so
don't you?
my dad's from Louisiana, so we are a Tabasco family only, but they're both delicious.
I understand, and we will not hold it against you.
Thank you.
So before we add the crab, we have one more ingredient. And Steph, you told me about a trick earlier. What do you do with the lemon to make it a little easier to manage?
Of course. So if you're looking to juice a lemon, all you have to do is pop it just whole in the microwave for about 10 seconds.
So with the lemon, I mean, of course it blends super well with all seafoods. I say more is more, but this recipe calls for about half a lemon. So that's what we'll be adding. So while that gets stacked, I'm going to go ahead and blend or start blending everything.
Great. I love adding lemon too to leftovers. It totally brightens up the dish and just everything. I love it.
Yeah, it gives it a better taste for reheating.
It does, definitely. And so you're just going to roll it a little bit to loosen up the pulp.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, and then just cut it in half, and you're going to squeeze it over your palm so that way you catch all of the seeds in your palm and it doesn't go into your crab cake.
You know, Steph just showed me that just a few minutes ago, and I wish I had known that before so many other recipes where I have gone and had to dig out the seeds.
Oh my gosh.
So then So then we're on to our last ingredient, which is going to be the crab meat. We normally do lump crab meat for this recipe, but in the grocer all we could find was jumbo lump. So it's going to be a little bit different of a consistency. You're going to have a little bit more crab for every bite.
Not a terrible thing.
No, not a terrible thing. And you know, this recipe does not have a lot of filler in it at all. You have very little panko. And so you're going to have a lot of crab as it is. And as you see, I'm getting in there. This is required for this recipe because it really needs to blend well. With there being so much crab as the base, everything really has to be consistent all the way through.
It looks so good. It really is like all crab in there.
Yeah,
This is going to be delicious, you guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to try it. So then this recipe makes about 6 patties.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you're having like a little party or a get-together, do you think you can make like some smaller ones?
Oh, absolutely. You know, my guess would be it'd be about 2 dozen crab bites.
Okay.
And so it'd be perfect for any party, you know, if you need to double the recipe or whatnot. It's super easy, not time consuming. So we're now going to take these over to the stove.
Okay.
Where we're going to get really into our oil. So we used vegetable oil in this pan, and so we've heated it to about medium-high, didn't we?
I think so,
And
yeah.
we're going to back it back down to medium just so we don't scorch them. But you know, if you do scorch them, it's not that big of an issue because what you can do is just peel off the burnt. And from there, your patty might be a little bit thinner than what you had planned on, but it's not the end of the world. No one will notice but you.
I
And
love
so everything will be great.
That's such a good tip, and it's so Julia Child, I feel like.
Yeah, she would have done the exact same
She's
thing.
the best. And then we have this wonderful collared slaw, and it's been in the fridge for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's just the red cabbage and the collards, and then it's got a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar, which is going to draw out all of the moisture. So you're going to be left with a lot of kind of wetness at the bottom.
Yeah. And so luckily we have this. What is this called again?
So the Oxo salad spinner. It's fantastic, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And all you do is just put it in there. You can use it for obviously salads too, but it collects all the moisture down here, and it's just super easy.
Yeah, and you know, I had always been doing it by hand until Steph showed me this, and this is way more efficient.
It's great, you guys.
And I mean, less time, less things messy. So, in preparation for the slaw.
Yeah, you have a great trick for which I've never actually known to cut collards.
Yeah, so being from Coast Carolina, my dad's a farmer. In our garden, we always had collards. And so a trick to doing collards is you want to find leaves that are of similar size, stack them together, flip them over, find the vein, take your knife, trace the vein. So you're doing 3 for the price of 1. Move this to the
smart.
side. I know. Fold this in half and just roll it.
I love that. And so you mentioned this is in harvest during when?
Yeah, so collards are harvested between October and December.
Okay.
So if you're making this recipe in one of those off months, you know, January through, what is it, you know, September.
Ish.
You can substitute this easily for kale.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Love kale. That's perfect.
Yeah, and so another pro tip for this is if you don't have the 30 minutes to devote to
like refrigerating it, and letting it.
Yeah, you can just do the same thing, the same movement, cut up the collards and throw it into the same pan that you're cooking your crab cakes in and just have sauteed
that's
collards.
perfect.
Yeah.
Great time saver too.
Do you want to show them the rest of that recipe?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have this whole tray full of stuff that we're going to add to the collards. So we've got some matchstick carrots for some great color. We'll go ahead and add those. And then we have some grapeseed oil, which is a great thing to keep in your pantry. It's a really neutral oil, so it's not going to take away from any of the flavors that we're working with today. We also have toasted sesame seeds, which are just the regular sesame seeds. You put them on a baking sheet for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then they turn this nice golden brown color. Then we're going to add some apple cider vinegar and celery seeds, and you found these at Whole Foods, right? But they were kind of difficult to find. You kind of have to look a little bit.
Yeah, they are difficult to find. I know that McCormick also makes some, which you can find in your Harris Teeter, which of course I love, and I'm very Harris Teeter loyal because it's a North Carolina grocer. And maybe from the Carolinas,
It is great.
you know, shop local even though we're not there.
That's true. That's very true. A little taste of home. And then we're going to add some salt, and then a few squeezes of the crushed black pepper. It smells so good back there, by the way.
Yeah. You know, there's so much crab in the patties, it's hard to keep them together, but you know, it's better than having a lot of filler. I'd rather see it fall apart.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree. And this is looking so good, you guys. You'll see it in a second once we plate it, but the colors are just blending together so perfectly. It's going to be a great backdrop for your crab cakes. I love it. And this
is beautiful.
Isn't it great? And this, I totally see where this would be wonderful with kale. And even with you could almost do it with this regular cabbage too if you wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, while these finish cooking, I think that we should also showcase the fact that our champagne is what pairs best with these.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we'll give those another minute or two just to make sure that they're fully cooked through. But a sommelier once told me that champagne is actually the best thing to pair them with.
Really? Why is that?
She said that the regular whites have a lot of herbal notes to it, and champagne's a little bit more crisp and dry. She also said that it's fruit or cava that you kind of want to go with. And so let's go ahead and pour some in.
Perfect. We actually had an incident too. We didn't realize this thing was ready to pop.
Yeah, it was really excited for this tonight. And so
the cork actually just flew off while we were rehearsing. It was kind of hilarious, you guys.
Yeah.
But
I wish that
we
we
work
were
with
filming.
it. I know.
Perfect.
That would have been terrific. Great, and this looks so good.
Yeah. Well,
I think
this
it's the other one.
champagne, I mean, you don't have to buy the most expensive thing. I think I spent maybe $20 at Whole Foods for this, so.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, let me go check on the crab cakes.
And I bet something like that, a little bit of bubbles, the effervescence, it just kind of pairs really well with seafood.
Oh, absolutely.
To cut through some of that butter and things like that. I love it. This looks so
they're
good.
perfect. They're just falling to pieces, but I love it. They're perfect.
I love it. This is terrific. And this really is a great weeknight meal. As y'all can see, it probably took us, well, I don't know how long we've been filming, but not long. And I think the only difficult part was the collard green slaw, which really is pretty simple if you just saute it. So I love this. I'm gonna have to do this. And it's low on carbs too, right?
Oh, super low on carbs. The only real carbs that you see in it are the panko. See, this one fell to pieces, but it just fits perfectly.
It almost looks like a salad now.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's now like a salad. So then
Yeah.
your crab cake's a little bit more together than mine. But so
This
there
looks
we
so
have it.
Good.
Yeah, and I mean, this smells, and then it's just beautiful.
And it looks gorgeous too. You eat with your eyes first, so like this is a perfect pairing. And how fancy
Well said.
for like Valentine's Day or something. I mean, you could
Yeah.
totally do this.
Yeah, should we try it?
Yeah, let's try it. Absolutely. It looks so good, and it smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell it.
Oh my god, you did such a good job on the slaw.
The crab cake is so good. It's perfectly crispy, and it's got all that crab flavor. I love it.
Well, we only have
So
a few more
good.
minutes before Rachel and Courtney get here. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and patty the rest of these up.
Perfect.
We'll get them cooked, and then we'll eat.
Awesome, that sounds great. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will share the rest of the recipe and all of the details on the blog. So cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks.